The Red Palm by Gary Soto. You're in the stream of cotton plants. You raise a hoe, swing, and the first weeds fall with the sigh. You take another step, chop, and the sigh comes again, until you yourself are breathing that way, with each step a sigh that will follow you into town. That's hours later. The sun is a red blister, coming up in your palm. Your back is strong, young, not yet the broken chair. In the abandoned school of dry spiders, dust settles on your forehead. Dirt smiles under each fingernail. You chop, step, and by the end of the first row you could buy one splendid fish for wife. And 3 sons, another row, another fish, until you have enough to move on to milk, bread, and meat. 10 hours and the cupboards creak. You could rest in your backyard under a tree, your hands twitch on your lap. Not unlike the fish on the pier or the bottom of a boat, you drink iced tea. The minutes jerk like flies. It's dusk, now night, and the lights in your home are on. That costs money, yellow light. In the kitchen, that's 30 steps. You say to your hands, now shaped into binoculars. You could rise them to your eyes. You were a fool in school. Now look at you. You're a giant among cotton plants. Now you see your oldest boy also running. Papa, he says, it's time to come in. You pull him in your lap and ask, what's 40 times 9? He knows as well as you, and you smile. The wind makes peace with the trees. The stars strike themselves in the dark. You get up and walk with the sigh of cotton plants. You go to sleep with a red sun on your palm, the solar light you see when you first stir in bed. Gary Soto was born in a Mexican-American household. His parents, Manuel Soto and Angie Soto. His father, Manuel, died in 1957. Angie Soto is still alive today. Gary Soto got his many writing ideas from writers such as Ernest Hemingway and Robert Frost. He attended Fresno City College, California State University, and the University of Fresno. He earned his BA degree in English in 1974. He was the first Mexican-American to earn a MFA in 1976. After serving many degrees at different colleges, he decided to teach at the University of California, Berkeley, and the University of California, Riverside as a professor. Today, Gary Soto is no longer a professor, yet writes from his home in California. In the first stanza of A Red Palm by Gary Soto, Gary sets up the setting for the rest of the poem. In the first stanza, Gary uses the word sigh numerous times. The man in the story is said to walk with the sigh of cotton plants. The sigh of cotton plants means that he has worked numerous hours in the cotton field and walks with a certain limp. Gary says that this man dreams of cotton plants, saying that cotton plants are his life and the only thing he knows what to do with. In the second stanza, Gary uses a metaphor: the sun is a red blister coming up in your palm. A red blister cannot actually come up in your palm, but is saying that since the man has worked in the cotton fields over numerous hours, he has gained a certain blister that is permanent in his hand. He uses personification when he says, dust settles on your forehead, dirt smiles under each fingernail. He says, you could buy one splendid fish for wife, and 3 sons, another row, another fish. This means for every row that he plows and picks cotton, he gets a fish. So he is not paid by hour, he's paid by the amount of cotton he picks. He says, the cupboards creak. You could rest in your backyard under a tree. Your hands twitch on your lap. This means after a long day's work, he'd finally go home into his backyard and rest. But his hands still wreak the havoc that comes with picking cotton plants, which is a difficult task. In the third stanza, the author says that his hands are shaped like binoculars, which means that after a long day's work, they are so tired that they curl together, which is a sign of massive work and numerous hours of work. The man's son says, you were a fool in school. Now look at you. You're a giant among cotton plants. This means that the father was not a smart kid in school. However, he did manage to get a job and provide for his family. However, the son sees that the father is not living a very happy life. He works many hours a day with almost to none pay, but still does it for his family. The son does not want to follow in these footsteps and wants to change, but the father does nothing else but pick cotton plants, so this is hard for him. After the boy says this, the dad asks, "What's 40 times 9?" The son smiles, looks at him, and they say that they know the same answer, which means that the boy and his father have the same intelligence level, which means the father was really not a smart person in school, and that the son is now getting a good education. Near the end of the third stanza, it says, "The wind makes peace with the trees, the stars strike themselves in the dark," which means that at night everything goes to rest. The man does not have to work, and his body could rest. However, it says he walks with the sigh of cotton plants, and then goes to sleep. This means that the cycle will resume tomorrow. He will get up, go work, come home, and do the same thing, like a numerous cycle that will never end. The last 2 lines say, "You go to sleep with the sun on your palm, the silver light you will see when you first are in bed." Meaning, when he gets up to go to work, the first thing he will see is the sun-rich blister on his hand that will never go away, symbolizing the work he has done and he will always do. And